Page 23, Mozart's 5 names. Yeah, did you know Mozart had 5 names? See, we here in the United States where I am, we generally have a first, a middle, and a last name. But a lot of people in other countries and so forth, they have a lot of other middle names. There's a string of them. Mozart had a total of 5 names total. He had 3 middle names stuck in the middle. If you're curious what they are, I think they give them on the 3rd line where it says Johannes Christophorus, Wolfgang, Amadeus, Mozart. Yeah, we just call him Mozart or Amadeus Mozart or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Generally, we don't use the Johannes and Christoph Thomas, Chrysostomus. I shouldn't have said it. I just never mind. Read it yourself. It's in there. What we do want to talk about though is the new notes. They're showing you at the top of the page, and really just one new note, and that's the next to the top line. It's a D, because you already know the space notes, F-A-C-E. Well, then that D is between, so that's a D. Memorize it, know what it is, we're good to go. Let's talk about the right hand. Oh, at the beginning, 4/4 time. So we're counting to 4 and we're counting quarter notes. So in the right hand, you're starting here, and it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. You got a dotted half note. It gives 3 counts, 3 quarter notes, right? Then you're doing that fine. And second line, last 2 measures. Look at this. It's here. You got to play 2 notes. I'll talk about this more in the future, just briefly. When you're going from 1 note to 2 notes, it doesn't matter what the fingers are, the technique I use is the same. Since I use a weight distribution, I'm transferring weight from finger to finger. I'm not holding the hand still and trying to use the fingers to play this. On the last measure, I'm just transferring the weight. And I'm exaggerating this motion for the camera because it's kind of hard to see, because it's really a very little motion. You can't hardly see it. It's more of a feel. And then when I go from the F to the EC, I just put my fingers there and I just transfer the weight over. It's a big deal. It's a little weird. You got to take a little practice to get the notes down at the same time. Or just transfer the weight to the F to the E. And when you get that, just add the C to it. And that's how I do that. These fingers is not nearly as hard. Some of the other combination they have is a little trickier, so we'll have to talk about that more. Then in the 3rd line, the left hand gets for a while and the right hand comes back in. And the last line, the right hand. And then they say wrist float off. It's this little motion. They don't need that. You're going to do that anyway. You do that between the phrases. You lift up, the wrist leads, and you lift up for a rest, and then you move it. During the rest, you move up, put your second finger on that D. Like so. Okay. Just make sure the beat is steady. Don't hesitate on the beat. It's got to be steady. Then they have a note there slowing down. So just slow down like a train coming to a stop. How much you slow down, that's up to you. It's an interpretive thing. You decide. There's a lot of decisions you have to make on this stuff. Left hand. You're down here. Second line, you're here. 3rd line, well, at the end of the 2nd line, they tell you to prepare the left hand, knowing something's going to happen. And the 3rd line, you'll see that you've been here, and now they want the 3rd finger on the A. That's up here. You got to move your hand here. You move these hands, you know where you are, you need to know where you need to be, and you need to know which finger's involved with the first note or so. So I'm going from here, I'm not playing, up to the here. 3rd finger on the A. You can practice these moves, helps. And you do this move anytime. You got 2 measures there where the left hand didn't do anything. Anytime in that there. I usually do it right before I need it. Just make sure it's there before you need it there. And you're up here. And then the left hand's done. You're 18. Put them together and you're here. The melody is pretty much and the right hand for most of the part is, even though the left hand's playing the same notes, that's, you could treat it as melody, I guess, but in my mind it's not melody, it's background. So I would keep the left hand soft here, and then here, same thing in second line. Now third line, the left hand gets melody, it's the only one playing, and then it does it, and then the right hand, and then the last line, the right hand is playing. You can see that, I don't have to spell it all out, I guess. Now at the top, they have think. They're between the lines, think. Alouette, if you know the song, Alouette, blah, 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 blah. This is sort of the melody for it. In my mind, it doesn't help any if you want to think about that. Sometimes you'll play a melody and you'll think, oh, this is such and such a song, but it usually doesn't last very long, and then it goes and does something else. So I'll leave that up to you whether you want to think Alouette or not. I don't push that sort of thing. Just read the notes and know what they are, and that's good enough for me. I'd like to play this with you slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. You can do the dynamics as you see fit. Articulation wise, there's nothing going on. You're just pretty much connecting all the notes. If you want to put in the phrasing, go ahead. Follow the sentences and the words for the phrasing. That'll tell you how to phrase it. That's where the musical sentence, and you just lift up between each one, so there's a little silence from one phrase to the next, so you know one phrase ended and another one started. Like at the beginning, at the end of the first line going into the second, you just lift up so there's a little silence before you go on there. So go ahead and put your hands where they go, and we'll play this. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, off.